as they go onto the straight. Is he going to make it though? Into the hairpin as he goes right into that. He will make it stick as they now go into the first corner. Alex going back down the inside of Jacob into turn 2. This going into the next right and just past the stricken Aston Martin as Alex is making overtake again from the straight, and he does as well. He goes left into that. Alex with the switchback of dreams, and he's made it work too. Jacob 2 places behind him, now on the run up to him now, trying to make the overtake, and he has made it. Wow! And they now go down off the bridge. Jacob gets back in front onto the straight. Lights out, away we go here at the British Grand Prix at the Laysan International Airport circuit. As he ends running down to turn 1. We have Jacob taking the lead in front of Alex as they're now running down to turn 2. Here we have Alex overtaking Jacob going into turn 2, and he makes it happen as well. That's Alex in front of Jacob here in front of turn 3. Maybe turn 4 that is. They're inside of each other. Jacob's going to have to run on him going into the next corner. Alex is going to try and make the move literally up the inside, going into the DRS straight. Who will have DRS here? As Jacob's going to try and make the move now going up the straight, and he does as well.
Hello everybody, welcome to the first ever race here in Ion with Driver Wars. At the moment here we have JC on Roblox 81 aka Alex, Jacob, and FNC Bossa just behind him, aka Alex. One of them is in a Williams, the other one's in the Aerox, as we are green lighting here. No, sorry, lights go out and we're away, coming into the first corner here. Carnage, we're only going to be spectating both Jacob and Alex though, for reasons, as we now ride on board with Jacob coming into turn 2. Oh, and he spun! He spun on the exit of the corner. Way too much acceleration, way too early as he comes into the sharp right hairpin. As we're now spectating here, Alex coming onto the straight now. Let's just hope he doesn't spin it here on the exit of the right-left chicane. No, he doesn't. He manages to keep it together. Here's Jacob, about 4 seconds behind. He's now battling with the McLaren, who we're just going to ignore for now. Coming to the hairpin too, as we have Alex now in a big fight. And the weather has changed, and he spun on the exit of the corner again. He took way too much curb there, as he tries to flick spin it round, and Jacob's gained the position. And drivers are now soon going to have to pit for new tyres, as the wets are just not going to cut it out. As far as AWS knows at the moment, the best tyres are the intermediates, and Jacob spun around. Just on the start of the DRS straight, he's going to have to flick spin that one around. How is this going to work out? As we're now riding on board with Alex. Coming here through the sharp right-hand corner. He's battling with the McLaren, who, again, we're going to avoid. And back on board with, Jacob, who's now fighting this BMW, which we are going to ignore as well, as he's gone decently wide through there, going to the right corner. Right-hand turn, sorry. He's taken that quite well. Back on board with Alex, who probably should be pitting by this point, as the intermediates of the superior tyre. And he has come into the pits. Let's see how this pit stop goes. Quite good pit stop there. It took a little bit of a while, but hey, you get what you get. Jacob has spun on the exit, though. On the entrance. He span on the entrance to the pit lane, and that is definitely not going to cut it for him. As he's also lost his front wing as well. Alex is on the pit exit now. We have someone dangerously running across the track. And Jacob's now in the pits. He is now in the pits. Hoping for a pretty quick pit stop here with a change of tyres and a change of front wing. Let's hope he doesn't spin on the exit now, as the track water's gone down to 30%. Maybe it'll be good enough for some dry tyres. Oh, and he's about to spin it on the exit. Good save, though. And we're now running with Alex, who's 15 seconds ahead, coming through the hairpin now. Coming through the the right-left S. The Australian track is quite a nice track, and he's gambled here on the mediums. He has put the medium tyres on, gambling that the track water is going to get below 20%, and maybe he's going to be correct here as you go through the hairpin and then about to go through the left-right chicane, as we're now going to ride on board with him. No pressure at all put on these drivers as Jacob following close behind, trying to eke that performance out of the tyres as he's catching up to the McLaren just a little bit ahead. And Alex has overtaken Diego, who's left the race. Unfortunate. And Jacob gone wide there on the exit as we have a car there going over the bumps and into the air. But we're going to ignore that, coming onto the DRS straight now, where he spun earlier in this race, but he's hoping not to spin here. And as far as I can tell, he went off the track. He went rather wide, overtaking the AlphaTauri there. But he's still holding it together, and he's doing quite well as Alex is coming to the pits. Not Alex. Alex is not coming to the pits. That is the person behind him who's coming to the pits. Sorry. As he's now going to round turn 1 and coming into turn 2 and 3 now. So we're now going to go with Jacob just to find out how he's doing. And he's coming through the last few corners here onto the straight. And he's about to cross the lap for his fourth. He's about to cross the line for his 4th lap here, trying to catch up to Alex. We still have about 6. We have 3 laps out of 5 now. We have 7 more laps remaining in this race. And we're just going to hope to hell that we know how this goes. As we go through the sharp right-hand corner, about to go through the left-right chicane. He's doing way better than Jacob right now, and on the superior tyres as well. Jacob trying to go to the end of the race here on the hards, and Alex trying to go at least halfway on the mediums. Will they last 10 laps? We'll have to wait and see as Jacob comes through the chicane now, through the final part of it. He doesn't spin it like he did in practice earlier, and he takes the hairpin quite wide as he gets almost overtaken by the Aston Martins, but he makes it stick. And Alex now rounding the stricken Mercedes in the middle of the track into the left-hander. Sorry about the cut of commentary there. I was obstructed by something. Anyway, Alex now coming through the hairpin again on the almost the final lap of the race. It's going to be the penultimate lap. Coming through the right-left S here. Jacob, let's follow him. 38 seconds behind the leader. Coming through the first corner now. Will he be able to take the second and third ones right, though? We'll have to wait and see. And Alex now coming through the hairpin and about to take the chicane, going left and right here. Oh, as the car behind him has gone right upside down, and he's hanging there like a cow. That is the Aerox, who is now gone, and hopefully Jacob can make the overtake there. It may or not even need to, as I believe he's left as well. And he's now coming through the chicane behind the BMW. He's about to go through the hairpin now, and we're right on board with Alex now, coming through the final corners here to start his 5th lap, and exactly halfway through the race. Now, you might need to ignore the lap counter there. We are doing 10 laps, not 5. As we have a BMW going right off the track there just before the DRS straight. Jacob trying to gain some time there on the Aerox, and I believe he's made the overtake stick as well. But Roblox need to update its servers, I believe, as the position tracking isn't very good here, and Jacob is round! Never mind, he's somehow kept the spin with the ERS deployed. Absolutely amazing stuff there. And we're right on board with Alex now, coming through turn 2 and 3 here, the double left-hander. Now into turn 4, which is the right-hander on the 5th lap of the race. We have I Stole Your Child in the lead, and we have Jacob here rounding the pretty sharp right corner, which is the final corner, I believe, coming through the main straight now. Let's see if he can. He's pitting for new tyres. Maybe he might go onto the softs and hopefully go to the end of the race. So we still have 5 laps remaining, and Alex is now on the less superior tyres as they're A, worn, and B, it's the mediums compared to the softs. I think that the mediums are better. I think the softs are better, especially since they're newer. And we'll just have to wait and see what tyres he's got on here. And he's got on the intermediates. He has bet that the rain is going to get worse, and he's gone on the inters. Quite interesting strategy choices here. We have Alex probably going to the end on the mediums, and we have Jacob betting on more rain on the inters. Let's hope the rain doesn't get too hard, though, and it doesn't turn into a thunderstorm again. Hey-ho, we'll have to wait and see. As Alex then rounds through the right-hand corner, coming through near the end of the lap. as I Stole Your Child has won the race, but we're going to ignore that now as Jacob comes through the chicane. And Alex is coming to the straight to start his 6th lap out of the 10-lap race. He's probably going to start slowing down, though, for the next corner, as we are hoping now that Jacob can maybe make an overtake as he comes through the chicane, through the left-hander now. As Alex has finished the race, apparently, but we still have 4 more laps left to race here, as he is winning right now. Coming through turn 4 now. We're going to be riding on board with Jacob for now, though, as he's going to be coming through the final corner now and onto the main straight, where hopefully he can gain an advantage over the Aerox in Alex, because he has more straight line speed. But we'll have to wait and see on that. As Alex now comes through the hairpin, just in front of the Fexaland car, coming through the chicane now, and hopefully he doesn't spin here, because that would be rather awkward, and he may have to pit as well soon, as I believe that those mediums are getting quite worn. As we're now riding on board with him, as he almost loses it going onto the DRS straight, the Fexaland car behind will probably have DRS there, as Jacob is now coming here to start his 7th lap, and Alex, I believe, is already on that 7th lap. Sorry, it is his 6th lap. Jacob's now starting his 6th lap of the race. As he's coming through the S's now. And I will have to continue to spectate Jacob, unfortunately, because practice has started and I can't spectate anybody else, which is quite unfortunate, but hey-ho, we're going to have to roll with it. As Silver Arrow 44 is probably now coming through the final few corners to start his first lap, but we're going to be ignoring that, and I believe Alex has started his 7th lap, as Jacob's now coming through the DRS straight, about to go to the right-hander, and now through the very sharp right-hander onto the main straight. Sorry, that's through the hairpin now. As he's going past the Mercedes in the middle of the track. He's rounding that corner very nicely here. Let's see how he'll do here, though, coming onto the main straight now through the final corner. Coming onto his 7th lap now. And we have a flurry of cars here. We have the Aston Martin, the Fexaland car. We have Jacob in the Williams right now. Not started his first lap yet. And Alex is now on the leaderboard. We can spectate him, and he's gone round. The medium's not working out well for him, and he's gone round to the exit, to the entrance of the hairpin. And he's gone very wide there with the ERS deployed, going past the Mercedes. He might have to pit in a second for new tyres, which is unfortunate for some, but coming to the right-hand corner now. And I believe almost about to start a DRS straight, if I am correct. Coming through the right-hander now. Going on to the final corner. About to start his 8th lap. Still in the lead of this race. Jacob is still looking for something, as he is still on the 7th lap. Alex in the pits now, replacing his medium tyres with probably some softs, or maybe even some intermediates, depending on what Jacob has done. And he's gone on to more softs for the last 3 laps of this race. Jacob, it looks, has respawned, and he's now in the lead of this race. Quite frankly, I have no clue what's gone on there, but he's still on the intermediates, and I think that's a bit of cheating. May have to be a 5-second time penalty there for Jacob for resetting and gaining an advantage. As the weather's now getting a little bit worse, the track water's gone up a little bit, and Alex's strategy may not be greatest. He's pit for new mediums, but I think the strategy here is probably going to be the intermediates again, as Jacob's on his 8th lap of the race. Alex, very unfairly, quite a few seconds behind, as Jacob's now coming through the chicane. And I feel that there will be a bit of complaining there from both the drivers, from what's happened. But Alex might be losing the lead anyway, because he's going to have to pit, and track water's getting worse, now on 22%. It's gotten 2% worse over the previous lap. So this is getting quite unfortunate now for Alex, whose strategy is now not superior anymore. As we have the Williams going around on the straight, but the other Williams of Jacob is still going strong, going through the right-hander now, and the Fexaland car stopped because of how Roblox works. Taking that hairpin very nicely, deploying ERS through the end of that just to try and get more grip, and we have the Williams spinning off in the background. And we have Alex, who's very unfairly in 2nd place right now, just about a corner behind Jacob, around 3 seconds. If Jacob gets that 5-second time penalty, I think Alex could still be in the simulation in the lead of this race. As he comes to the final corner now, Jacob starting his 9th lap. This is the penultimate lap of the race, with track water getting worse. I think Jacob has the advantage here anyway. Alex may have to pit on this lap or the next lap for some new tyres, because the mediums at the moment are not very good. As we watch him now coming to the turn 3 and turn 4, and he's reset. That may be a 5-second time penalty for him as well, as it's said in the rules that they cannot do that, and Jacob, I think, has now outright won the race as he comes to the chicane now, and through the long right-hander. We've had rain this entire race, and honestly, I think it's been a drama adder. It's just thrown fuel onto the fire. Everything's gone wrong here today. And Jacob, he's in the wall! He's in the wall! He's spun on the entrance of the chicane, and he will not be proud of that. Absolutely not. As Alex is now on the inters, coming round what looks to be the 4th corner here. I think Jacob's won this, but we still have 1 lap to go, so it's all to play for here. Now entering the DRS straight now, about to enter his 9th lap, maybe even lap Alex. Now I think that none of them can have a time penalty, because Jacob reset to gain an advantage, and so did Alex, and that didn't work for either of them. As Jacob going round the very long right-hander, and he's about to enter the final straight for the last lap of the race, as we now ride on board with Alex on the DRS straight, chasing down this Aston Martin. Maybe getting a tow, maybe getting an advantage. As we now spectate Jacob here on his final lap of the race. If he can bring it home, that'll be victory for him in his first lap with Williams. In his first lap, in his first race. As we have Alex right now, rounding through the right-hander, coming through the sharp right-hander, maybe even catching up to Jacob, coming through the last corner. Now it seems he's kept it through there. That is wonderful control there. He's on the final straight now, starting his 10th lap. And Jacob's now rounding the chicane, coming through the long right hairpin, as we now ride on board with him. As we have the BMW stuck there, which is quite unfortunate for him, as we go through the 2nd hairpin now. Oh, he's gone very wide there, onto the grass even, maybe into the wall. This rain is certainly ruthless, as he's almost gone around. Nice save there, going into the DRS straight now. And now spectating Alex, coming around the long left-hander, about to come into the first chicane. He's done very well there, especially considering that the map isn't being loaded for some reason. As we're now spectating Jacob again, who looks like he's rounding his final few corners here, coming through the S's. And the Williams gone round again in the background. Yeah, that Williams 2012 car's not being very good today, is it? As he's gaining more and more ERS here onto the final lap of the race. Through the final straight. And Jacob has won the Australian Grand Prix. Oh, wow, what a race this has been. As we're now spectating Alex rounding the final corners, and Jacob has won this. Very, very well done to him. And I think the strategy here was probably better from him. And I think he would have won that anyway if there wasn't any respawning shenanigans going on. And as Alex now rounds the final corner, coming onto the final straight, he has finished 2nd, getting 1 point here today. And straight into the wall he goes. Lovely. And unfortunately for me, it's not being loaded in for some reason. But hey-ho. Thank you for watching. This has been the Australian Grand Prix in round 1 of Driver Wars. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.